So just out here in one of the cornfields, taking ear samples to hand shell to get like a rough moisture idea of where these fields are at. This one has some pretty significant wind damage. It blew down this summer, but it didn't green snap. It elbowed back up. I guess if you can kind of see. So it didn't snap off. The plant's not dead. It still has an ear on it, but it does make it a huge pain to go through the combine. So my dad is just wanting to get it out as soon as possible. So just seeing where things are at, just taking a random sample throughout the field. Mix it up a little bit, and then we will pour it into the top of the moisture tester until that yellow circle turns green. Out here checking the beans to make sure they've dried off enough to cut. So we switched from corn back to beans. We started out corn this morning. The beans dried off a little bit faster than we thought they might. So hopefully we can get as many beans out in this run as possible, because it's just a huge pain to clean everything out, switching from beans to corn. It's a huge pain in the butt. But I also like beans because it gives me a little extra free time to work on stuff. Like, I'm just sitting here waiting. It's not quite as fast paced, gives me plenty of time to read. I actually have like a whole little library down here. So I asked the people on Instagram like for suggestions, and so I'm reading one of their suggestions, The Cider House Rules by John Irving. And it's pretty good so far. Definitely a lot easier to read in beans and corn. That book anyway, just because it's a little more in depth. And in corn you really need like the quick, easy reads. Like, you already know how the book's gonna end, but it's so good. Yeah, I had like kind of a day off yesterday. I'm still really tired though, but it doesn't look like it's gonna rain for at least the next 10 days, so it's gonna be busy. Dad just dropped me off at the end of the field. He is heading back to park the combine at the other end. I left the auger cart down there, but our service truck is up here. So it's just like a whole bunch of finagling to get everything moved around to where it needs to be so we can take the service truck in for the night. But overall, we got a lot more done today than probably any of us figured we would. We got, I think, 100 acres of beans done, and then not a crazy amount of corn, but we did get a field opened up. So I think that will put us at like roughly 3% more done for the day. 3% closer to being done. I love harvest, but I'm also very excited for like full nights of sleep.
Dragging up. Oh, okay.
You tried to start, but they're just too wet still at the bottom, so they're dragging, and gonna wait another hour or two before we try again. Things are going pretty good. Obviously I chose an extra 20 minutes of sleep this morning over brushing my hair or doing anything with myself, so I should probably use this time to pull myself together, but I've got lots of paperwork to do. I have lots of YouTube comments to get back to because I just have not had time in corn. And I very much value my sleep. So thank you to everyone who's been understanding that it's super busy right now, and I'm trying my absolute hardest to get back to everyone. Holy cow, is it windy, and with the dust, it is making it a little difficult to see out here. Just gonna steal a Coke real quick out of the fridge in Dad's combine. So we got all moved to the next field, and then I had to drop Jeff off at the truck that we left at the field we were in. So everything else is down there, good to go. It's actually 6:20, the elevator closes at 7. So I don't know that we probably won't get that field done. Or if we do, it'll be very shocking. But all in all, it's been a pretty good day so far. Fingers crossed it stays like that. We finished another day. I'm walking across the lot since my dad refused to give me a ride from the back of the lot to the front where the truck is at. He's gonna regret it because there's a well somewhere on this that's open, and with my luck I will fall into it. He won't have a cart driver because I don't think Lassie's gonna come rescue me. So yeah, but yeah, it was a pretty good day. I think he finished this field that we're in. I couldn't tell, it was on the other side, but we should be done with it, and yeah, head someplace new in the morning. I think we're getting close to 40% done. The best way to start the day is by pulling water hemp, right? The guys are finally getting that motor back up on top of the bin. So while they're getting that roof auger back up on top of the bin, I do not like heights. I don't mind them, but I don't like them when there's a giant heavy motor that could come crashing down on me. So while they're doing that, I'm just getting some more veggies ready to go in tractors, combines, trucks. Gotta stay somewhat healthy. But we are over halfway done with beans. We're roughly 40% done overall, so we're sitting pretty good. I didn't realize we were over halfway done. I hadn't been keeping track the past few days, so when Dad said that this morning, really liked hearing that. So we started the day off pretty good. Things were going well. And then the second load that I went to dump on the truck, I royally screwed up. As soon as I turned the PTO on, I knew that something was really wrong, and I turned it off immediately, which I was actually kind of proud of myself for noticing something was wrong because I'm not good at that stuff. Got out, looked. I had gotten the 3-point hitch into the PTO. I guess it leaked off, and I didn't notice. I didn't realize it, and so when I turned, I mean, it bent it. It not only bent the PTO shaft, but it also bent like the shaft that goes from the front all the way back to the gearbox of the cart. So, needless to say, I'm definitely not anywhere close to being anyone on this farm's favorite person right now. Jeff had to drive an hour and a half away to get the parts to fix it. I'm in the neighbor's tractor. Yep, this is not the 8420, this is the 8200, which actually was originally my dad's. It's the first tractor it's the only tractor, I guess, he said that he's ever bought brand new in his life. And then obviously a much different cart. It's a little smaller. Yeah, hopefully we'll be able to get that fixed tonight or in the morning. Super grateful to the neighbor for letting us borrow his tractor and cart, but I am so excited to be going back to the 8420 in our cart. I don't know if you can really tell, but it is a much shorter auger on that cart than ours, which means that I had to get a lot closer to the truck than I'm necessarily comfortable with. I mean, the more I did it, I got more comfortable, but it still just made me really nervous. It feels super good to be back in the 8420. Really, really miss this baby girl. I don't know why I said that. I don't think I've ever said that in my entire life. But, you know, whatever. Things are going pretty good. This warm weather this week is really, really, really helping us get a lot more beans cut. It helps it dry off faster in the morning. And then it also, the warm weather plus the frost that we had a few days ago really helped the beans that we had left that really weren't wanting to change. It helped them really get to where they needed to be for us to cut them. Stop to check some things out. Dad thinks there's a bearing out someplace. Well, we looked all over it, and by we, I mean Dad, because obviously I am terrible with anything mechanical. He couldn't find anything that was causing the funny noise, so we're just gonna keep going and pray that it wasn't anything serious. He checked everything that it could be, and it all looked to be running fine and feeling fine, so I guess it's just a mystery noise. So if you look at these beams, you can kind of see that they are crisscross. Some are going straight and the others are going at an angle. This spring, not all of the original planted ones that were planted straight came up very well, and so but it came up well enough that like we didn't want to rip the whole thing out. So we just planted in on top at an angle. Yeah, it gave us this nice diamond pattern. We have a lot of fields that have these towers in them. They just go all the way down. They go north to south. But I'm always terrified that I'm going to just hit the edge of one of those and cause major damage. My dad is obviously much more comfortable around them than I am. I got out the list of all of the bean fields and all of the corn fields. And then I added up like all of the fields of beans that we have done, just to kind of get like a rough idea of where we're at, because I have not been like really keeping track this week. I did really good last week, but if I just divide this out real quick, holy cow, at the end of tonight we're going to be 81% done with beans. 81%! And that's kind of suck. All the fields we have left are like kind of the smaller ones and some patches, or even if they're not necessarily smaller, like they're not big squares like we've been in the past few days. So they just take a little bit longer. It takes longer to go around like all the field edges, waterways, woods, stuff like that. As of Friday, we have officially made it over the halfway mark of Harvest 2020. Are you cranky today? You seem a little cranky. You weren't very nice to the cat. Did you wake up on the wrong side of the bed? Or the wrong side of the tree? My kid brother came home from Purdue to help this weekend, and let me tell you, it really helps to have an extra person.
What do you think, Pace? If you use me in your picks, I get a cut of your profit.
Of course, found some more water hemp to pull. So I am just headed to the local John Deere dealership to get a couple parts for the combine. Nothing is like broken down or anything, nothing serious, just a couple pieces that we need or / would like to have on hand in case the other one does break. And I'm super excited because since my brother is home from Purdue this weekend, he's going to run the car today instead of me, which will give me at least a few hours to get caught up on my own personal business that I run, Heart of the Midwest. I'm way behind on shipping orders. I need to update the website for a few things. I need to get things ready for the harvest collection that is coming next week and answer a ridiculous amount of emails basically all the stuff that I've been trying to keep up on while I'm in the car, but it just gets a little difficult sometimes. So we've got a whole harvest convoy situation thing going on. We've got Dad up there in the combine. I'm here with the bean bed. You can see it, but my brother is back behind me with the grain car, and then Jeff's behind him with an empty truck, and then we've got Grizz on his way back from the elevator with another empty truck to head to the next field, and then I will take Jeff back to the full truck that's waiting in the field they just finished to take to the elevator. So yeah, it takes a whole lot of organization to get this stuff moved around onto the next field. But overall, it has been a really productive week. I think Dad said that yesterday was the best bean cutting day he's ever had, not yield-wise. The yields have dropped off a lot the later planted they were, but as in record number of bean acres cut in one day. So that's fun. Wish it was record yield too, but oh well. Like I said, overall, really good week. Hopefully, we'll be done with soybeans in the next day or two, probably 2 to 3 days actually. And then we'll switch back to corn, which hopefully has dried down a whole lot more this week. The temps have been high, it's been windy and sunny, which would mean a whole lot less work running it through the dryer. So just in here, getting everyone's paychecks ready to go for the week. Yes, that is my dad's whatever software he uses to keep track of all that stuff. It oinks and moves at you when you open it. I love it. But anyway, yeah, I hope that everyone has had a great week. Thank you for watching along for another week, and I will see you next week.